Hello everyone, welcome to another awesome week. Thank you for watching this video to prepare for your small group. This Sunday we'll be continuing our monthly theme of remote control, which is all about the choice is yours, where we will teach the kids about choosing what to do and what you should do, even when you don't want to. So we will be instilling the truth that we need to make wise choices. In our Bible story from Proverbs, we'll hear about why it's important to calm down. And our verse for this month is God's power has given us everything we need to lead a godly life. 2 Peter 1:3a. For your first activity, challenge the kids to work together to build a wall. And so you're going to have some plastic cups and some toilet paper rolls and things like that. And what they're going to do with that is try to build a wall. Okay, as they're building, share some different ideas and critical thinking ways of, well, what if we took off this piece of the wall, or this kind of part of the wall broke down? What happens if we take one of the structures from the bottom out? That kind of thing. So get their minds starting to work on that. And then for your next opening activity, you're going to get the kids into groups of 2 or 3. And then each group will have a set of the Match It cards. And basically, the Match It cards are just cards there are 2 cards with the same picture on them. And so you mix them all up and see if they can get it when they're all face down, and they get to flip 2 cards at once. But then they have to flip them right back over unless it's a match. And if it's a match, then they get to keep those cards and they get a point. And then they just keep going until all the cards are gone. And you can shuffle it again and play this again if the time allows for that as well. And then to transition to the large group, ask your kids if what is in common between a lock, an umbrella, a shell, a leash, a helmet, and a firefighter. What do they all have in common? And they all have in common to keep something safe or protected. And so ask them, what are some things that keep us safe and protected? And let them list off those answers. Let them know that in the Bible story today, they'll be hearing about something else that can help keep us safe, and it may surprise them. After large group, you will need the ball pit balls. And with these ball pit balls, you're going to have 2 to 3 kids be the enemies and stand to the side, armed with these balls, okay? The other kids will stand in a circle and put their hand out onto the other person's shoulders next to them, making a big conga line, and then lead them to march in a circle but also singing Proverbs 25:28 to the tune of London Bridge. So the lyrics are on your leader guide, but it goes like, a person without self-control, 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 person without self-control is like a city whose walls are broken down, broken down, broken down. So kind of go through that a couple of times and whatever. When you get to the end of the song, everyone in the circle falls down, and that cues the enemies on the side to invade with the balls, okay? You may need to give reminders to have self-control as they invade the broken wall. Maybe very specific instructions on don't hit anyone in the face. And then after you play a few rounds and stuff, rotate the enemies and then follow the script on your leader guide for what to say to tie in the Bible lesson and drive home that message that when we lose control, it can cause trouble. You may even make it personal if you have a personal story about when you lost self-control and it caused trouble for you or other people around you. In this next activity, you'll have a hula hoop for every kid, and you'll want these hula hoops placed around in one large giant circle. And each kid can go ahead and stand inside of their own hula hoop, and you're gonna hold up different action cards that tell them what to do, okay? And so, like, for instance, I have an action card of jumping jacks. And so when you're holding up this action card, they have to continue to do jumping jacks until you hold up a different card, okay? Now, you have regular cards like stop and pause and fast forward and rewind. When they do a stop, then that means they stop and they kneel and they sit down, basically squatting and freezing in place. When you do a pause, they just freeze wherever they are, right? When you do a fast forward, they start jumping to the hula hoops to the right, okay? And so they just keep jumping, keep jumping, keep jumping until you hold up another sign. If you do fast or rewind, it's the opposite of the fast forward, right? They start going to the hula hoops on their left instead. Now, when you're doing these actions and after this activity, you're gonna ask them what happened with self-control in this activity. Like, we had to realize that other people were around us, and to make sure that we didn't hurt anyone else, we had to practice that self-control and not immediately do the action, but really pay attention to what was happening around us and the other people around us. Then for the final activity, what you're going to do is give each kid an I'm in control activity page. And what they're going to do with this is first you want to show them what it says at the bottom, which is the memory verse, and then they'll have a chance to go ahead and color this and take this home. Also, when parents are picking up, you can have them share that bottom line to their parents, which is when you lose control, it can cause trouble. Remind them of some ways that they can regain self-control when they are having a hard time with that. Things like you could walk away, take a deep breath, talk to someone, or count to 10. And ultimately, how we can ask God to help us with our self-control whenever we need it. Finally, if you still have those hula hoops out, you can have everyone stand in their hula hoop, or if you don't have those out, you can just stand in a big circle and then pray for each other. We'll go ahead and recap the story for today and give them that bottom line again of just having self-control so that we don't lose control because it causes trouble. You will also have updated baptism information sheets in your leader packets and whatnot, and so make sure you take a look at these just so you know where all of your kids are. If some of them are interested in baptism, please have them let me know as well. That's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for all that you guys do. Text the word trouble to me if you want to be entered into the drawing. See you guys soon.